Steve, we're back. Long time no see. Mitt, you want to come out the door with us? Let's go. Where's T-Rex?
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Come on, kids. Let's go. We got the energy door. The energy door? What do you mean the energy door? We'll watch this energy. 1, 2, 3. Out the door. It's been so long since we've been here. Whew. It's 8:30 in the morning and we're 60 degrees. And it's so nice to go out without having to put on a rain jacket and layers and just some sandals on the feet right now. Steve, did you miss us? You want a belly rub? Mitt's probably gonna want to come out, so I'm just gonna shut the door behind us. Tuesday, it's always a Tuesday, right, with the beautiful weather. That's nice 1028 high pressure system right over us. A few sky waves going on. And I'm not wearing my noise canceling microphone because there was no wind, but there's a loud, huge Tonka truck here on the Weymouth Big Dig, which we've not seen in 2 weeks. How things have changed. All right, well, we had a 5-inch rainstorm in 12 hours last Thursday, and so all the work they did on this, it was an extreme event. So let me just put it that way, Jono, if you're listening, they have to redo this because we live on a hill and it's not that easy. And look, the grass was growing and everything. Oh boy, I feel terrible. So this update, weather and more, is a result of weather. They tried, but when there's a 5-inch rainstorm in 12 hours, there's very little you can do, especially if you're trying to establish a new slope and prevent erosion. So this has nothing to do with ocean or anything. This has to do with purely rainwater. And yes, we're getting more rain, unfortunately, coming over here. Do the forecast. Beautiful imagery coming out of New Hampshire yesterday. Rob Wright, every photograph he takes is beautiful, but a very rare sight to see Mount Washington snow-capped with foliage. Now, you happen to see that with fall foliage quite often, but with near summer foliage, very unusual. So all kinds of unusual weather happening here. The Mount Washington, 14 inches of snow, melting rapidly. Why don't we go to Mount Washington to start our weather data today and look at the cam of Tuckerman Ravine. Yesterday there were looks like several slides of snow and slush. I call them, or Josh Worth came up with the word, slough-a-lanche. So there were slough-a-lanches. That's when the really slushy snow slides down. Yeah, it's an avalanche. So several avalanches in Tuckerman Ravine, where this morning, some of the warmest air in all of New England, here is the temperature profile, is at 3,300 feet on the Mount Washington Auto Road at 61 degrees. That was at 7 a.m. So we had an inversion this morning that happens underneath these strong high pressure systems. And the regional temperature at the surface, the temperature at the top back up into, I didn't remember where it was, 30s or lower 40s. And there's not that much wind. It's still from the dry weather direction from the west to the northwest. So we have a dry day today for the most part. There's still a little instability. Could be a shower north. Gorgeous morning, obviously. Here's the regional temperature roundup. And there were a few spots. I see at 39 degrees this morning, and the dew point, 38, 39. Dew point and temperature together, we had a little bit of patchy fog this morning. That's the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, upper 30s. Sandusfield, Massachusetts, 42 over 42. And so a little inversion fog this morning burns off very quickly. There's not a lot of air moving today, but ultimately with this high going offshore, probably some sea breezes, and then the wind comes around. Here's the surface map from earlier in the day, and that's quite a elongated high pressure system. And it's going to be pushing offshore, and we always say you got to watch the backside of these highs, the waves of low pressure on the old boundary off to the south, and little less severe weather. But here's the radar, and there were some severe storms still ongoing, Louisiana into Mississippi. That weather staying well south of us, but you see the other rain coming across out of Kentucky into Ohio. And this has been a moving target for the last week. We've been talking about the potential for another nor'easter next week, which is now this week, which is now tomorrow, is where it originally was planned, but now that's changed, and it's changed several times. I mean, a couple days ago, it looked like all the next 48 hours into Friday looked mostly dry. And we said we didn't really trust that, and for good reason, because now that whole boundary does look like it's going to make it into New England tomorrow. And tomorrow is Wednesday, and so kind of GFS was kind of right from a week out, but if you're right from a week out and then you're wrong from 6 days and 5 days and 4 days, you weren't really right, were you? So that's why we give votes of confidence, yay or nay, and it was a nay on the vote of confidence for this all missing. And so it's coming in, and the way we're going to watch it first is we're going to use the short range high resolution model. That would be the NAM 3K, and we can see this afternoon thicknesses are up around 552 to 558, and that means temperatures should be in the 70s in a lot of spots this afternoon. You see these green specks popping up in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, so the higher elevations may have a shower or a downpour, very similar to what happened yesterday. While we were beautiful on Cape Cod yesterday, there were showers going on. And then those kind of dissipate at night. Those are diurnal when they happen by day and then go away by night. And then here comes the precipitation from the southwest during tomorrow. And you can see it getting into New York City, and it looks like it's trying to fall apart a little, but then it comes back together. And by tomorrow's sunset, now we have sort of a wall of rain coming at us. Elongated from New York to south of Rhode Island, and that's going to push in tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, we do have low pressure tracking south of New England. It's not a very strong low, but now we're getting into late May, and it doesn't take a lot to make precipitation, especially with wind coming in from the east and the northeast. And there by 2 p.m. on Thursday, you see the 1010 south of us, so there's about 1,000. That's a cyclone, very weak cyclone, but enough to have wind coming in from the east, and that rain has thinned out a little bit there, but this is the first of several waves of low pressure coming at us Wednesday night, Thursday, and then it'll be a gap, and then more over the weekend. And here is how much rain we're expecting in the next 60 hours, well, which is now 48 hours. This initialized last night at 2 a.m. and it goes out to 2 p.m. on Thursday. And you see the blue, and that would be a ½ inch, and then you see some purple starting to show up near Connecticut, Rhode Island, almost to Cape Cod, and the northern edge of the precipitation hasn't made it into northern New Hampshire and Maine yet. So the best weather is northern New Hampshire and Maine over the next 2 days, and you see some purples also, and purple would be 1 inch. Now, the last 5 weeks in a row when we've had a situation like this, and we've said 1 to or a ½ to 1.5 inches of rain possible, we've ended up with several inches of rain. Now, granted, those low pressure systems were a little stronger, but we've been definitely underestimating the rainfall lately. So I would have guessed that that's going to happen again. And that takes us out. We were at 2 p.m. All right. Looking over here at the excavator. It feels so bad that they have to redo this over and over. Oh boy. That's the nature of life. It's challenging, including weather forecasting. Now, we're going to stick with the GFS in their longer range forecast for now, but it's starting to get a little wonky like it often does with those potential hurricanes in the 2-week forecast, and it's doing it today, but we're going to stop it before then, and we may have to end up switching to the Euro. But here is the GFS with our 1028 high pressure system moving off to the east, and where it's still sunny, your temperatures are going to be in the 70s today and tomorrow, but where the clouds come in and it starts to rain towards Connecticut tomorrow, the temperature will fall through the 70s into the 60s and maybe even the 50s. So the dew point and the temperature are going to come together tomorrow night with this first batch of rain coming at us. Be about 60. The dew point's actually going to go up to 60 also. So there's a lot of moisture. That means we're going to get more rain than we're forecasting. You can almost lock that in. And then there's a little gap there on Friday, and you have a new upper level low digging in southeastern Canada and the Great Lakes states. A lot of warm air trying to come at us from the south, and then it's really impossible to place where these low pressure systems are going to go. But there's a new cold front coming in Friday night, and there's a warm front in southern New England, and they're going to merge, and we are going to have a deepening low getting down below 1,000 millibars. And right now the GFS tries to track that through New York and northern New England, so that's a little further north and west, so that could spare southeastern New England, from heavy rain coming in back again on Saturday. And there's Saturday night, and oh my goodness, look at the 540 and the 534 decameter upper level. I thought we were done with those blue lines coming across Lake Huron. Now the rain looks like it's ending in New England with strong low going to our north, but there's a lot of instability, and now we get it out, and I'm going to stop it now on Sunday, June 1st, the first day of climatological summertime, and the 540, that little blue circle, is over Albany, New York. Theoretically cold enough for snow at the tallest mountains, even though it shows dry air, but that says very unstable, ridiculous lapse rates, and a chance for showers and thunderstorms to develop again. Another upper level low with a 540 cutoff. I thought we were done with that yesterday, but apparently Mother Nature wants to take wintertime upper level cool into summertime this year. I'll put this back into motion on Sunday. Still a chance for a shower, and could be a snowflake on Mount Washington. Look at the low to the north is a 986, and it is snowing up in Quebec, and that flow from southeastern Canada is going to continue into next Monday, but there's ridging and very warm summertime air coming at us from Texas into the Midwest, and after about Tuesday or so, it looks like we're going to get back into a much warmer flow with low pressure deepening over the northern Rockies, rain and snow in the mountains of Idaho and Montana, and in New England. Now we take it out to Thursday, June 5th at 8 p.m. and the 576 upper level cutoff high pressure system is here, and that would be temperatures in the 90s with the black lines indicating a west-northwest flow, but it's also instability with a few showers over Pennsylvania. Almost a ring of fire type situation with suddenly summer here if this verifies out in 10 days. And there's a very powerful low up there moving into Saskatchewan, and you've got a 1022 Bermuda high. So suddenly summer, and I have to think that this has to happen, right? This has to happen. And as we shift it to the south, though, it would have a tropical storm or a hurricane in the Caribbean. And if I took the GFS out another 5 days after this, which is La La Land, it would show a hurricane going into Florida in about 12 days or so. And that is the nature of the GFS. It does that pretty much all summer long, so that's when we may have to switch to the Euro. But for now, I have moderate to high confidence in the GFS. Well, look at this. T-Rex is rolling on my legs. That's pretty nice. I am very comfortable, by the way, in my shorts and sandals. And what to do with this lawn, I'm not sure. It's an experiment. The grass is trying to come up. I'm not sure what kind of seed they used here, but it was obviously not a high quality seed with these purple things coming up. So it's an experiment I'm allowing to play out, but it's not eroding as fast as I think we were hoping. So we're gonna have to do something about that. Steve, what do you see? So nice to have Steve back, and we got Mitt upstairs a little bit, and they were both jostling at the sink. They love the water coming out of the sink in the bathroom. Do your cats do this? And so the team is back together for probably one day in a row. It's a very busy time. I get a lot of chores to do and other things to do, which you'll see over the next couple of days. I get to everything I wanted to get to. So yesterday, after going to the Field of Honor at Patriot Square in Dennis for sunrise, I get back and there was this peculiar debris in our yards. Me and my brother, there were these black things all over the place. They looked like charred leaves. Well, guess what? They were charred leaves. And so there was a mystery on our hands. I called Tony Kent at the fire department, even though he wasn't in Dennis. He said, yeah, there was a fire in your neighborhood last night. So we did some forensic analysis. We found out where the fire was, unfortunately. The home was some new neighbors who I have not met yet. Longtime neighbors there were Irwin Bud Davis when I was a young man. Always a fun time over at the Davis household with Louise. Well, they since moved out, and new owners bought the house, and they were just about moved in, and unfortunately,
pretty sad.
Fire. No one was hurt. So yesterday, analyzing, watching South Dennis, going across the pond for William's birthday, and T-Rex's birthday was yesterday, so we're going to talk more about T-Rex and other birthday boy hanging out yesterday together on a beautiful afternoon on Bass River, and then sunset in Plymouth. Now, as I was given the sunset analysis, it was a clear sky, but I could see this little cloud on the northern horizon. I didn't talk much about it, but our family member Mary Pisa was in Hingham watching that cloud as the sun went down. And that cloud indeed was a rain cloud when it was in New Hampshire, and it decayed right over eastern Massachusetts last evening. Thank you, Mary, for that beautiful sunset shot. And Weir Lundstedt shared the radar with us. He said there were some pretty good showers coming down, and he got video or imagery there from New Hampshire. So there were showers yesterday, and fewer and further between. There could be another one today before we get back into another extended, fairly wet, damp period. All right, and more from yesterday, Memorial Day 2025.
I was going in the door, and Mitt decided he wanted to go out the door just now.
So our and more is delayed for just a moment because of current circumstances and breaking news, like as in Mitt breaking out and Steve grazing and this beauty right here. Got the tugboat, gotta talk louder, and the Seaways Star headed back out into the Atlantic. All right, and more from yesterday. Ditto. Monday morning, Memorial Day at 8:30. It is just gorgeous. The birds are singing. So we did out the door early today, and I didn't get T-Rex out there because he was sleeping. It's his birthday. I can't believe I neglected that. So we'll make good for that. And we've also got quite a mystery going on here on this beautiful morning. There's all these black leaves all over the place, all our yards, and they're like ash. And we don't know. It's kind of all over the neighborhood. But wouldn't a leaf, if it burns, not still be looking like a leaf? You can see it all on the ground here. Since when does weather cause that? I don't think so. And you can see it all over, next to our fishermen, all over the ground here. And that's what it leaves on your hands. Some up on the roof. We did smell smoke around 4:30 yesterday. Look at that one. That looks like bark. Ashes to ashes. I just talked to Tony Kent. He said there was a shed fire on Norse Road. It's about 3 roads over from us. So that explains that. It is indeed ash. Hey, can you go ahead and get a video of that burnt shed for me? Thanks. Okay. T-Rex is up. Good morning, T-Rex. This way. Your favorite person's over here.
I bought treats for you yesterday. I did.
With an all-natural herbicide. What's the all-natural herbicide?
It's a gallon of vinegar, 2 cups of salt, and 1/4 of a cup of Dawn detergent. Mix it all together. Spray it on your weeds. They're gone.
Oh man, you are so eco-friendly and intelligent, and dogs love you, and we all love you. I don't know how we...
I know. I don't know if I can handle all this love, but...
And this is the Regis Path that we're on?
The Regis Memorial Pathway.
The Regis Memorial Pathway.
Which,
Yeah, we miss Regis.
we do miss Regis.
A couple years.
But we have T-Rex, and he's a good boy.
And you know what today is for T-Rex?
His birthday.
It's his birthday. It's T-Rex's birthday. What do you want for your birthday, T-Rex? Want some Anna treats?
He wants some pepperoni that I just bought him.
Pepperoni? Happy birthday, T-Rex. Yay. There's your favorite.
What kind of dogs is T-Rex?
What kind?
Yeah.
He's a schmuggle. He's a mutt that looks like a shepherd and a pug, so schmuggle.
Okay, we were trying to... People ask me when I'm walking him, and I never know what to tell them. A schmuggle.
He's a schmuggle. T-Rex, can you look up at the sun? Look at him, he's so happy. He's like, which way am I going?
birthday.
Where are the treats?
How old is he?
He's 8.
Oh,
Neighbor's hydrangea now. And I see T-Rex. Look at the size of this piece. So, some big embers floated all the way over from that fire on Norse Road. It was 2:30 in the morning. It woke Chuck and Terry up. Chuck, he's a frequent contributor to Out the Door Weather and More, got a video of the fire last night, this morning, 2:30. That was Sunday night. That's scary. You have to do a little more research on what burned, because we know most of the people in the neighborhood. Over to Norse Road. So my mom used to live in that house, and when she lived there, it burned and has since been rebuilt, and nobody was hurt in that. And look at this tree. I mean, it's a dead tree, but it's something beautiful about it. I'd love to see the eagle come down and just land on that tree. Madman. I love those sandals. That's funny. Oh, another nice pontoon boat. And so you can see the charred trees up there. So those charred leaf particles flew all the way over to our house. So I knew the previous owners, the Davis family, and they just were working really hard on this. And apparently it was a charger that smoldered and eventually flamed up last night. So it's pretty sad. Dennis Fire Department came and did their best. Brand new construction. They say there's a drought. I doubt drought. You ever feel like one of those days where every step you take, you barely move? Yeah, it's called Not in a Hurry Monday. Just be careful of the wind. I knew it. He whipped out his little web maker. He's coming home. Coming home with me. All right. Kevin's got bags of, well, covered, what's that, T-base, you said?
This one's T-base.
And so it's got the moisture and it's kind of cool. And look what we found. What a bonus. He's probably not going to want to be picked up, but we've got a salamander. Yay. You never know what you're going to find when you open up a tarp. Thanks. So I'm not sure where they go or what they eat or anything. I got a lot to learn about my creatures. But I do enjoy admiring them. Can I put him on the roof of the car and see how he reacts? Probably not happy. Too warm, too hot. Put me back. All right, I will put you back. I will put you back. I know. 3 p.m. What a gorgeous day. Above and beyond the call of the forecast once again. 67 degrees in South Dennis. I don't think I've seen a cloud today. And we're going across the pond on our way back north. Steve and Mitt miss us and miss you. Get them back tomorrow. Waves. The other side of the pond is Yarmouth. T-Rex, how's it looking out there? Beautiful in Yarmouth too. Bass River slows to pretty much a trickle here. Crab Creek. That was Bass River. 2 birthdays, William Albert and T-Rex. And everyone's here to celebrate. And we're very pleased with this weather, how it turned out. There's Fallon's Pond, Bass River. Now we're on the other side of the pond. Looking over to where we just were a few minutes ago. Right over there. And we've got boaters. Not even one cloud. Oh, there is one cloud. I was going to say there's not one cloud in the sky. There's one cloud over Mayfair Road today. Wow.
But I'm just glad it's gone. But yeah, that's why I went right to the doctors on Thursday.
Yeah, here we go. The star of the show. William. Coco. William.
Thursday.
Think if we let T-Rex and Coco go in the yard, they'll spaz?
I called the doctor and they said, who knows?
As soon as the birthday boy stops begging over there.
I left at like 11. Yeah. So we had 3 pads on that fucking boat.
Stop it from the stage.
You know?
Only
so Mac was
one
coming
more.
down. So.
Only
Oh yeah.
one more.
Is he staying with you?
Gone down there, Tim.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's starting to rain here. The rain was not in the forecast today. Oh no! Ouch! Ow! I'm gonna call those osprey. Those osprey are gonna get you. Oh, we wore you out, huh? Yeah. Siri's telling us how to get over their bridge. It's only about a half mile from here. A cloud in the sky. That wasn't that bad. 6A. Still looking for that cloud. Kidding. I'm happy that there are no clouds. Radiational cooling. Were there record lows this morning in New England? This high pressure system coming in. Brisk. Looking toward the east here. Over in Plymouth, Massachusetts now. We're on the road again. On the way to see Steve and Mitt. Almost there. There's Miles Standish way up there. Plymouth, Kingston, sunset, time lapse. Well, it's sunset. We're watching time lapse now. Of almost no clouds, and that flag will be replaced today, which is tomorrow from this point. Last time we were here was for the Thanksgiving Day parade. Remember how cold and wet that was? Oh, here. Plymouth, Massachusetts. Sparrow. And Cape Cod. Just watching the shadows move for the most part. It's a gorgeous Memorial Day. Above and beyond the call of the forecast, I would say. And now, how much rain over the next few days? Still a moving target on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We conclude with another tall-masted old ship, the Mayflower. Till tomorrow. Thanks for watching.